So in 2007 there were over 80,000 cases of HIV in the UK. Now, to tell you something else, what is even more scary is that a third of people who are diagnosed with HIV actually don't realise that they're infected.
It must have been August 2004, so sort of just over 4 years ago now. It was when I just moved to Birmingham. I don't think anything went through my mind. I didn't think I was going to die or anything. I mean, I kind of like knew that this was a chronic condition and it wasn't a terminal condition. But it was like one of those moments when you, I just went very numb, I think.
It is a shock to the system when it does happen to you, really. So to say the least, I was absolutely devastated. We grew up with HIV as being something that happened in the 80s, you know, because when I was in boarding school I do remember some talk of HIV, but I was the kind of person who, when it came up on television, I would switch the channel, because to me it was so not a part of me or my life. I was so disconnected from it.
Yes, people are still dying of HIV and AIDS, and the people that are dying are those who are diagnosed late. And we have over a third of the people who present to hospital services present themselves when their immune system is so damaged that their mortality rates are very high. So it's really important that people are getting themselves diagnosed early so that they can access this care.
If doctors had suggested strongly that this was a test I should consider doing, I probably would have been encouraged to do it at that point and at an earlier stage, really. But at the time, no one said anything about possibly, you know, HIV or anything like that.
How many health professionals do you think you saw before?
Tons. I mean, I've seen, you know, rheumatology, the whole, you know, I've seen tons and tons of health professionals over the past 2, 3, 4 years. But I wasn't someone who was classified at risk, so it never came up really. And then about 4 years ago, well, it's almost getting on 4 years now, I had shingles, which was horrible, you know, and went to the doctor's surgery, and again, nothing was really flagged up at all, really. From then on, it became apparent that something was obviously wrong, so they kept passing me from pillar to post, really.
And then, yeah, I rang my parents, so, so yeah. They were really upset, actually. So, gosh, I didn't realise it'd be quite so emotional, but they were very upset, just because I think that, you know, parents are generally very protective of their kids and stuff. So, yeah, I never really felt that angry. Other people around me felt very angry with the person, though, you know, most people had never met the person. But I never really felt a huge amount of anger, just because I felt that, you know, I have to take just as much responsibility in this as that person did.
Well, first I was quite angry at myself, you know. I was very angry at myself because I felt I was ill-equipped to have protected myself or to have prevented this diagnosis from happening.
So if I wanted to go for a test for these infections, where should I go and what would it involve?
Well, what you would do is, there are several ways you could do it. You could just attend your GP and say, could I have an HIV test, please? And we would hope that would be done, and we are trying to encourage GPs to do testing. If you didn't want to go to your GP, you could go to a local sexual health service. You can look at on our website, sexualhealthbirmingham.co.uk, and that will signpost you to a number of sexual health clinics around the city which undertake HIV testing.
I would recommend people to, whether they're straight, gay or bi, or however they describe their sexuality, or however they don't describe their sexuality, I'd recommend people to go for regular health checkups, you know, sexual health checkups, you know, and if you're having sex without a condom, whether you're gay or straight or whatever, you know, every few months go and get an STD test to make sure everything's okay.
It's scary. It is scary, but I think knowing is better than not knowing. You know, at the end of the day, you have the possibility or the chance of just living a really full and as healthy as possible life, really.
Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you have caught HIV and your immune system is in such a poor state that we can't give you appropriate treatment. If you've put yourself at risk, go and get an HIV test, and in that way we can stop HIV progressing to AIDS, we can stop other people becoming infected.